Hello crafty friends, this is the Paper Chef here. In today's tutorial, you're going to learn how to cut out stamped images using your Brother ScanNCut SDX125. Let's get started. Each month I subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, and you never know what you're going to get. This month we got this really awesome kit. And while all of these skeletons and boxes are adorable, and it even came with embellishments that you can punch out, I thought, well, you know what? There's a stamp set to go along with it. Every Paper Pumpkin kit comes with a stamp set too. So wouldn't it be fun to do the opposite of this? So here's a white skeleton embellishment with a black outline. Why not stamp it in black with a white outline? And then we'll have some that are opposite of this. Not only that, the stamp set comes with this skeleton that's not in the embellishments. It has its arm raised. And when I saw that arm raised, it gave me an idea for an alternative paper pumpkin project, which I will be showing you towards the end of this video. So I am using these skeletons from the September 2009 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Bone Appetit. That's the name of the Paper Pumpkin Kit, Bone Appetit. The name is right down there, and with the instructions that come with it. This is only available in the Americas or Canada, and I'm only a demonstrator in the USA. So if you are from the USA and you want to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, go to my website and you can find a link there on how to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin so that you too get a crafty surprise each month. Okay, I'm just stamping a few for good measure in case they don't all recognize, and I'm going to show you why they may not all recognize. Then I'm going to stamp a couple of these skull and crossbones because I think these are cool. This was also in the stamp set. I think these are cool for like pirate themed things and to decorate your treats with. And you don't have to do anything to those. They just cut out really easily. Now, each Paper Pumpkin Kit doesn't just come with a stamp set. So here's the stamp set with lots of sentiments. Trick or treat, toxic treats, Bon Appetit, Happy Halloween, and Eat If You Dare. It also comes with a stamping spot. So this one came with a stamping spot called Gorgeous Grape. That's the color it came with. But I'm using Magenta Black. So I like to do other things with my kits in addition to what the supplies are that it came with. So now I'm going to grab a number 2 pencil because we're going to have to use the pencil trick. And the pencil trick is something I teach in my courses, and I'm teaching on YouTube a lot, is whenever you have stamped images that are not fully connected, you must take your pencil and connect them. I'm going to do the first one, try to do it up in the air, and then I need to move my paper farther away because it's easier to do when it's laying flat. But I just need to show you this so that you can fix your skeletons. So I'm just all I want to do is really just, here's one that I've already done. Here's one. I've already done him. I want to do this. This is what we want to cut out. But we want him to cut out on the outside, like one big white area around him. That one missing an arm. Sometimes I cut them out without all their limbs. All right, so we need to make him one image. The Scan and Cut is so sensitive, especially the SDX125. The other models are not as sensitive as this model. It's so sensitive that I sort of need to connect the parts, or it will think these are little separate parts. And that's not a bad thing because when it thinks it's separate parts, you get some separate bones cutting out, which I'd used for different things, and that was fun too. But I want them to cut out as one because he's so cute. So I'm just doing this little thing where I'm connecting. You don't have to worry about the fingers, they're too small. I'm connecting the wrist, the neck, here the elbows, here down here. Okay, so we have the bones connected. I think I got it all. And I get asked this a lot. What kind of pencil are you using? I'm just using a number 2 pencil. No tricks here. This is from Staples, number 2 pencil. That is it. So I'm going to put this down, and I need to finish drawing the rest of these little pencil marks. And I'll do this one. Let's see. I like these guys the most, these ones with their arms up in the air, so I'm going to do him. And then we will leave one undone so we can have it as a basis for comparison. Okay, so just a little bit of trickery to get your skeleton to cut out. And you might be saying, well, it takes a long time. Yeah, do you know how long fuzzy fussy, I should say. My sister keeps correcting me. She's like, you're saying it wrong. Okay, fussy cutting, you know how long that takes. So this is still a lot more quicker. It's a lot quicker and a lot more accurate. So we don't want to have to cut these ourselves. So let the Scan and Cut do all this work for you. All you need to do is put some pencil marks. And you're good to go. And of course, what I'm teaching you, it doesn't matter if you don't have the Paper Pumpkin Kit. You know, if you're not a subscriber, you can do what I'm showing you with any of your stamped images. Or in fact, this is a good troubleshooting technique. Whenever you're like, why aren't my images cutting out? Well, maybe you need to use the pencil trick and fill in every gap and every line. That could be the reason. Okay, hopefully these three work. Now this one, I didn't even touch. I didn't put any marks on it. And you'll see that maybe it won't come out in one piece. I say maybe because machines are absolutely unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen in my tutorials, because I could do the same thing 2 times in a row and it doesn't always come out the same way. So what I'm doing now is I'm attaching my stamped images to the mat. And if it's dry enough, you could use a brayer and roll over this, but I don't want to use any brayer because I don't want to smear my ink. So just give it a good rub. The friction of your hand and the heat should help it. Now I'm going to open up my machine. I have to tape this because I've already broke that little piece. This little piece is already broke. And you know, I don't think Brother's going to want to send me another machine after all I went through this summer. So I'm taping it because every time I close it, right, if I don't tape it, the little carriage opens up and everything falls out. But I do like that it has storage, even though that broke. But let's not digress. I'm holding one hand on the mat. I'm gonna press the load mat button, and you'll see what that button looks like when I bring the camera into view. Getting rid of my mat now. Making room on my table. Okay. Let's see. I'm just doing a little bit of adjustments here. So what I did, now all you missed if you didn't see the load mat button, because I mean some of you are new and I always like to make my tutorials what I call self-contained. So it doesn't matter if you're new or a veteran Scan and Cut user, you're not missing any steps. Okay, so in this tutorial, all I did that you may have missed is I loaded the mat. I needed to click on that button. I did it before moving my camera so that the mat wouldn't fall on the floor. So that's all I've done so far. Now I'm going to go to Scan. When you turn on your machine, you're going to see Pattern and Scan. Select Scan. Because I'm directly cutting out these skeletons, I'm using Direct Cut. Next, it's asking where do you want to store this on your machine or on the Canvas workspace. This is if you have your wireless set up. I always like to store it temporarily on my machine. It's a lot faster. Next, it's asking, do you want to use 12 by 6 recognition mode or 12 by 12? You don't have this option in the CM350, the 12 by 12 mode. You only have you don't have the 12 by 6 mode. I don't want to make a mistake like I did yesterday. I'll correct that when I show you something else. You can use 12 by 6. Because why? Because I scanned the images, I put them on the top of the mat. This is just a lot faster because the skeletons are up on the top half of the mat. So this is the top half is scanning. You don't want to waste time scanning the whole thing. This is where you change it from color recognition mode to black and white recognition mode and vice versa. I like to keep it in black and white recognition mode when I'm just scanning stamped images. So I just want to correct something in case you're watching all of my videos or someone remembers this from yesterday, but I was saying you can't lower the pressure on your CM350 like you can on here, and you can lower the pressure. As Ian, one of my viewers, pointed out, the pressure goes down to -9 on each machine. Nothing to do with this tutorial, I just wanted to make that correction. I will make it in my last YouTube video as well. So what I'm doing now is, you've scanned in the images, okay? You've scanned them in. Now look, you've framed the part that you want. So far, so good. Now I'm going to just preview for a minute. And We're going to say okay. And I'm going to add a little outline distance of 0.04. So now, this is what I want to do. I want to zoom in and do some comparisons. Zooming in so you can see something. Zooming in again. Why we use the pencil trick. This is what I'm about to show you. Okay, so these look fine. The skull and crossbones are fine. Mr. Bones is fine. This one's fine. You see how you have, we connected him. Actually, his arm is not fine. This is not fused together. His arm and leg are not fine, but we have to, that's okay. He's going to cut out in 3 parts. But the one down here where we didn't use the, see, look at him. He's going to cut out in several parts as well. So this one's fine. He's 1 piece. Okay, this one is 3 pieces. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and trash those pieces. I don't want to cut that out if it's not complete. All I want is a complete skeleton. Okay, so you can help your scan and cut along by using your pencil trick. It'll give you a better outline around the whole Mr. Bones. And this one's fine. See, that one's fine. This one is not fine because the little arm, the little leg, they're separate. So I'm trashing the pieces that are not fine. So that's why you need to zoom in sometimes. To zoom in, I went into the edit mode and I zoomed in. Now, it didn't matter earlier when I did cut them out in pieces. I used those separate pieces. Sorry for shaking my camera. I used the separate pieces. It was kind of cool because I had like little bones that were outlined and that was kind of fun for my tags. But in this case, I'm trying to get the whole skeleton to cut out. So I'm just going to say okay. And I'm going to say select, cut. So I want to cut. I'm just cutting out 2 of the big ones and all 4 of the little skull and crossbones. No problems with those. Now I knew at least 1 wasn't going to come out because remember, we only used the pencil trick on 3 of the 4. So out of the ones we used the pencil trick on, we used it on 3 of them. 2 of them outlined correctly and 1 didn't. So that means you just need to go back in with your pencil and fix them. I'm using regular Whisper White cardstock. I get asked this all the time. If you're using the CM350 with regular Whisper White cardstock, you would be using about a blade depth of 4 right now. But because I'm using the SDX125 model, I don't need to set my blade depth. It is called Auto Blade, and it does the blade for me, the blade depth for me. I also don't need to change any of the settings. I use automatic pressure. I use automatic speed. Automatic everything, and it does a great job cutting out stamped images. So next I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to unload the mat. I'm going to push this out of the way so you can see. So here's my mat and here's my stamped images. So let's lift this up. I'm pulling the Whisper White off, and those 2 we deselected so they didn't cut. Now we're going to use our little spatula, and you're going to use your spatula to remove these from the mat, like so. Now I would have done my erasing while I was on the mat. You can't really see how I did that because I was at a weird angle, but that's okay. We're going to just tilt this so you can see how I removed these from the mat. You are not going to miss a thing, crafty friends. All right, here's how I removed it from the mat. Took my spatula like that. And the reason I'm not erasing while it's on the mat is I don't want any eraser marks to stick all over the mat. So I erase it on the table. But even without erasing it, it looks pretty cool, right? I mean, even without erasing those marks, it's a cool looking skeleton. So I like him just as he is. And we're going to remove these little ones. They don't need any erasing. So what I'm about to show you for my projects that I created, we call them alternative projects. Like whenever we have a Paper Pumpkin Kit and we show you alternate projects that you can make with it, then that's if you ever want to search for inspiration, you're already one of my subscribers, then you search for alternate Paper Pumpkin projects. Okay? So here's what the projects look like that they suggested, and I'm going to show you what I did with that. All right, but let me erase because I need to go full circle and show you after we cut out stamped images and we erase them, what they look like. So I'm taking this white Pentel eraser and I'm just doing the erasing. And then we're finished that part of the tutorial. So then I show you, next, if you're new to my channel, you know, what I do next after I show you how to cut out something is I always show you what do you do with what you've cut out? Like, why would you want to cut out stamped images, right? Well, why is you have loads of embellishments. It looks professional. It's better than manually cutting them out yourself. And the list goes on and on. But not only that, the Scan and Cut, if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber and you also have a Scan and Cut, then you can do so much more than someone who doesn't have a Scan and Cut. And you can just take stuff out of the box and go, oh, I can do this, I can do that. There's so much more you can do with all of your crafting materials, not just your stamped images. I mean, all of your things. If you don't have punches, you can make circles and shapes right out of your Scan and Cut. You know, it doesn't matter. You can save a lot of time and money by having a Scan and Cut, because you can just cut out all the things you need, the shapes, the outlines, the sentiments, the card bases. The list goes on. All right, here we go. He is awesome, and so is he. So there we have it. That is how you cut out your stamped images, and once you erase them, you can never even tell you used a pencil trick. So what do we do with all this? The regular Paper Pumpkin Kit comes with these cool embellishments. I'm just going to show you a couple things so you kind of know where I'm going with this. And I stamped all the tags at once. It came with tags. It came with skeletons. It came with cute little boxes that are so easy to put together in 2 minutes. Even if you don't like candy treats, you can put all kinds of little toys in them. All right, and that's it. You just push down. Oh, I gotta knock the little blank pieces out. Done. I mean, you have the little boxes, and they're pretty strong too because they're made of light cardstock and foiled as well. Coordinating colors are pumpkin pie, gorgeous grape, and basic black. So you have these little boxes. So the first thing is, oh boy, don't look at my messy floor. All right, so I'm gonna zoom back. I gotta zoom back in so you can't see my whole messy floor or messy table. Okay, we are going to start with just how I sort of took what they gave you and made some tags out of it. So that what they gave us are these cool little boxes, and I made treats. And so what I did is I took some of their embellishments and then some of the things I cut out with the Scan and Cut. And let me go over here, make some room, pushing these back a little. All right, so I'm just showing you for a comparison. So there's these little stamps, these little sentiments came with the Scan and Cut. Okay, I need to put some more color into view. I need to put some things in here. Sorry, if I don't put things in my camera view, it just always, if it's too much black or too much white, it goes woo, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I have to put some other colors in there. All right, here we go. We have this first treat box. You have toxic treats. This is what I cut out with the Scan and Cut. Black, right? Black ink, white. He's holding up the little sign. Then I alternated him with one of the embellishments that came with the kit. Okay, so cool, right? They have the opposite. So one is white on black and one is black on white. These little clips came with the kits. I just used some metallic ribbon I had for the tag. The tag is reusable. And then when you open it up, I like to always show my crafty friends what you can do with the kits. So now you have this one will be for little kids, some stickers from American Greetings. I got some little stickers, I cut them up, fit in there, and some Skittles. Yes, I take my Skittles and I separate them. I take the red and greens and I save them for Christmas, and I take the other colors and use them for fall projects. Let's see what's in this one. Okay, again, same concept. This is one that came with the kit. This is one that we just stamped and cut out using the Scan and Cut. And that says Happy Halloween. We have another little hand, little tags, push down, okay? Okay, little eyeballs. These are the gummy eyeballs I got at the Dollar Tree. Oh, fun. I sometimes forget what I put in the boxes, even though it's only been a day. I just got this yesterday. Witch's fingers, little spider rings, and these are little eyeballs too, but these are toy eyeballs, not not edible eyeballs. In fact, I might have to put, I love making labels. I might have to make some stickers that say not edible. Or it depends on what age student, what age child you're giving this to. Okay, so then this one, I'm not even sure what's in this one. I think it's the same as before, the Skittles, yeah. Some Skittles, yeah. Okay, and then again, the same tag, but this time Bone Appetit. So those are the 3 sentiments that were on in our kits. Toxic treats, happy Halloween. Well, there was one more sentiment too. Eat if you dare. And I'm going to show you that sentiment. Okay, next is my mini coffin project. I told you a minute ago that I would show you things that you can do with your Scan and Cut that you can't do if you just had a Paper Pumpkin Kit. Okay, so one of the things is this. A lot of times I get asked a question, can you cut out embossed images? Okay, can you cut out embossed images? Well, absolutely. Cutting out embossed images is just like cutting out stamped images, except they happen to be embossed. So I'm trying to show you this in the light. Maybe I have to, if you can see this. This is shimmery white embossing powder. I stamped the skeletons onto gorgeous grape cardstock using shimmery white embossing powder. Okay, so that's how I did that. Then I outlined them with a 0.04 outline distance. And I just simply scanned in and cut out embossed images. The same as cutting out any stamped images, except you have to use color recognition mode because there's not a lot of contrast between the white and the gorgeous grape. Here's another thing you can only do with the Scan and Cut. Well, not only, but unless you want to do it with a pair of scissors, is when you create your stamped images, which is part of this kit. This is Eat If You Dare. Okay, these little shapes came with the kit, but then I was able to scan in the shapes, and I was able to make another outline of 0.04 around the back of that. Okay, so you can do a lot of layering, and I could have done another one at 0.08. So that's one other thing you can do with the Scan and Cut. Okay, so furthermore, I'm going to be showing this again in my Paper Pumpkin video. However, I like all my videos to be self-contained, as I mentioned before, so I need to tell you what materials I used. Whenever I show you projects, I need to show you what materials I used to create the projects so that you can repeat them in case you're not finding my other videos, on YouTube or wherever. You can repeat them. Okay, so what I did we sell mini coffins. They are in our holiday catalog, the mini coffins. Oh, in fact, I know you're probably like, what's in the coffin? What's in the coffin? Okay, I put Happy Halloween inside the coffin. Okay, I put Happy Halloween and some eyeballs. Here. Remember, because it said toxic treats. And that's where I was talking about that little bone. I took that extra little bone that accidentally got cut off, and I just made them on the Bone Appetit tag with a little circle. You can also cut out circles using your Scan and Cut. Okay, back to the lid. I used the mini coffins that they just come and they're flat. So you just fold them together. So easy. And they come in our holiday catalog. I wanted to show you that. So here's what we have. Mini coffins. They're already pre-scored. You just add glue and you stick them together. But what I did ahead of time is I embossed the lid of the coffin. And I used this embossing folder. It is called Mosaic 3D Embossing Folder. And what I did is this is how I did it. I stuck the coffin lid inside the embossing folder. And I shut it. And then I embossed it. And then, and I embossed it. I also have a special plate, but that's another whole story. But you can use some of my other tips and tricks for embossing. And then what I did is I used Wink of Stella around the lid. Okay, so that's how I decorated the lid, Wink of Stella. I was trying to use like gray and some white, but it wasn't giving me the aged look I wanted. So then I used Wink of Stella. The skeletons are from these laser cut tags, which are part of the Paper Pumpkin Kit. All right, before I show you my final and favorite project, I need to tell you one more thing that you can do with your Scan and Cut that you can't do with just the kit. So if you get this kit and you saw these, they're really cool. And the people that wrote, that created this, the graphic artist, they did this kind of thing. They put some vellum behind it, and to me, it hides too much of the spider web. And I love these designs, don't get me wrong, but see, this is vellum pieces. And I'm like, no, I think you need to see the spider web. So if you take, with your Scan and Cut, you make 2-inch circles, or with circle punches, you can make this kind of effect. you can do this. However, if you have a Scan and Cut, you can do this. You can actually outline, and I used a 0.08 outline distance, so I scanned in this. I glued them onto black cardstock just like this, scanned them in, used a 0.08 outline distance, and I added one more layer. So look at the difference in the dimension. They're all cool. I'm going to use these all for cards, and I love these spider webs. And I love like laser cut things. I love what Stampin' Up has done with this kit. But I'm just saying that if you have the tools, why not just, take it a step further and have some wow in your projects. Boy, I got to figure out what went in what box later, right? Okay, let me clear space. This is my card. Remember I told you when I saw that skeleton doing the high five, or he's standing up and he's putting his arm up? So when I saw him do that, I thought of this card. I thought of this card in my head, in this design. I said, I could use the truck. And let me show you the stamp set, and then I'll show you this card in closer detail. So Ride With Me. It's a stamp set, and I've shown how to do this part and how to put this on a mini pizza box with a wobble spring. We've done some things on YouTube with this truck. It's called Ride With Me stamp set. So I had a truck, and what I did is I cut out the window of the truck. And of course I used the Scan and Cut to help me cut out the window a little bit, but then I did use scissors to finish the job because my paper started slipping, but that's another story. Basically I used the Scan and Cut to cut out the truck. Then I cut a hole in the window. Then I thought this little skeleton would be cool riding with skeletons in the back. And I was even going to try to put some bones sticking up out of the back. But I definitely wanted that skeleton with his arm up in the air to be driving the truck. So that's what I came up with for this design. And I'm just cracking up every time I see it. And this is going to my subscriber, Sue. Susan has subscribed with me, Paper Pumpkin. I'm a demonstrator, and I've been one just for a few years. She has been subscribing to Paper Pumpkin since February of 2017. So she is my longest subscriber. Subscribers come and go, and I sometimes they don't just go, like they usually come back. You can suspend your account anytime, and then but she has been continuously subscribing since February 2017. So I was like, I have to make her something special using the Paper Pumpkin Kit. So Susan's getting this card, and she probably is watching my videos because she also is one of my faithful viewers on YouTube. So what I did for this one is I used pumpkin pie blends. I have everything here to show you. I like to show my viewers what I've done. Okay, so for the truck, pumpkin pie, that's light and dark blend. So because I used Memento black ink, I was able to use pumpkin pie blends without smearing the ink, because let me put that there so it kind of, I needed to show you the sparkles. That's why I was kind of tilting it to show you the sparkles. All right, then, so I used dark pumpkin pie, light pumpkin pie. Dark smoky slate, which I found out is retired. I didn't even know it was retired because I was trying to get more of these blends, and I can't. So I'm almost down to the end of my smoky slate. This is a great color for tires. Then I'm using Monster Bash Designer Series paper. Monster Bash. I've shown Monster Bash in this YouTube channel before. It looks like this on one side. This is one of the papers on the other side. So the spider web design is great in the Monster Bash. So it really works out well. What else? Anything else I want to show you? Oh yeah, these two are cut by Stamped Images. This is cutting this stamped image, and so is this. But this one is one of the embellishments that came with the kit. So I wanted to point out that, and I just glued them on there. Happy Halloween's from the kit. This is from the kit. This is from the kit. I use pumpkin pie cardstock. Mosaic Mood embossing folder, or Mosaic something. We just had it out. Mosaic 3D embossing folder from the Mosaic, or from that suite. And then this is, I used Wink Castella on that part. And the inches, this is a 1 inch wide by 5 1/4. And what else? And this is the Spooky Bat Punch, which retired last year. Sorry, you can't get the Bat Punch anymore. And I put some bats in the inside, left it blank for it to write. Just left it blank. All right, so I hope you enjoyed my projects and what you can do when you take your Scan and Cut and combine that with the power of the Paper Pumpkin coordination and embellishments. So thank you for watching. This is the Papered Chef.